Hey there. All right, it's Coach K here, looking a little lopsided and crazy, but we're going to jump right in today. See, this is what I do. I get on camera, and then I start noticing all these things that look strange. All right, we're gonna let it go. I'm gonna show you guys how to make some quick chickpea crackers to enjoy on the cleanse. I know how it gets, you know. We want something that is crunchy, and that's kind of how I was feeling earlier. So I decided to experiment with a cracker recipe that I've seen. I've seen different people making it, and so I just said, I'm gonna give it a try and do my own measurements and see what I come up with. So I'm gonna show y'all this. It is very easy. It's really just chickpea flour, seasonings, and water. That is it, okay? That is it. And you can pan fry these or you can bake them. I would suggest baking them just so you can control how much oil is in there. All right, so you can use whatever seasonings you desire. Today, for this batch, I'm gonna do a little bit of oregano, a bit of onion powder, a little bit of smoked paprika, and then some salt and a pinch of nutritional yeast, okay? Oh, and my African bird pepper. You could use cayenne pepper, okay? The main thing I want you to see is what the dough should look like as you roll it out to bake. That's the main thing I want you to see. I just feel like this side of my head is so lopsided. Y'all forgive my insecurities. All right, let's get going. Okay, so earlier today I just did a half cup of flour. Now I'm gonna go on in. Now, the other thing about chickpea flour, why you always want to have this around, is because you could do so much with it, and it's totally wheat free. So the same mixture I'm putting in here, I could add even more water and make a wet batter, and then I could, it doesn't, Holly, but thank you. I could add even more water and make a wet batter, and then you could drop like some chunks of zucchini in there and pan fry those. You can do those on the cleanse. And we don't want to do a ton of oil, but if you just, what I'm giving you guys is stuff to keep you from falling completely off, okay? Because what will happen is you don't give people a ledge and they just jump all the way off over into some French fries. We don't want to do that. And so to avoid, we're going to, you know, I'm going to give you guys tips on things you can have instead, because I'm all about the reality. There's what we wish we could be perfect, and then there's the reality. So let's start with our 1 cup of garbanzo bean flour. All right, I'm using a 1/3 cup, so you're going to see me do this 3 times. Okay, and these crackers are great to go with your one cooked meal each day. One more. Now, they do have a bit of a, I can still taste the chickpea flavor, which I don't love, but when your seasonings are on point, you ain't gonna notice. And you're so ready for a cracker by now. If you've been sticking to things like you should be, you're ready for a cracker. So set this to the side because you're gonna need it on your mat or counter or whatever you're using. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in a whole teaspoon of salt because chickpea flour is very bland. That's to 1 cup of this. It's very bland, okay? It also tastes terrible raw. So if you taste this batter, that doesn't mean your crackers are gonna taste just like that. It just is not good uncooked, okay? And then for our nutritional yeast, this gives like a cheese flavor. I'm gonna put like a heaping tablespoon, okay? Then I'm going to add, I'm gonna do my paprika last. I'm gonna add just about a 1/2 teaspoon of oregano, okay? And then for my onion powder, I'm gonna do probably 1.5 teaspoons. You really want to be able to taste that onion powder, so let's do 1.5 teaspoons of that. Next up is, I'm gonna do my bird pepper next, and then my smoked paprika last because that's going to it's going to contaminate. Not contaminate, but I don't want anything mixing in my bird pepper, especially not that. So I'm doing about a half teaspoon of this. Give me a little kick there. And remember, parasites hate spicy stuff. They really do. So you definitely want to put some of that in there and make them real mad. All right, then I'm going to do a half teaspoon of my smoked paprika, which smells so good, y'all. It really does. Okay, so this is it. Mixing the dry together. Okay. Now, I think 2 tablespoons of water is going to be enough based on what I did earlier with my experimentation. But we'll see. It all depends on what your dough looks like. Because remember, you're making a dough that's going to roll out, so it needs to be tough. You're not at all looking for any kind of batter. So, okay. 1 tablespoon. Oops. 2 tablespoons. Now, I'm going to give this a stir. And I already can tell I'm going to need 1 more. All right. Yeah. That smells a little strange because of the chickpea flour. But it smells like chickpea flour mixed with seasoning. So that's good. So now we're on 3. And I'm going to go ahead and put a 4th one in. So I think 4 tablespoons equals a 4th cup of water, but we'll see. All right. If it's too much water, all you need to do is just add more flour, you guys. All right, so still a little dry, but I'm pressing down with my spoon. Okay, and I'm gonna give it another stir here. So that was 4 tablespoons of water. I think we need just about 1 more. Just about 1 more to get us there. And we can manipulate this dough to no end. There's no gluten in here. We're not going to have a texture issue. So from that standpoint, it's a lot easier. All right. Just under a tablespoon of water. Let's see if this is enough. Maybe. Yeah, I think that might be it. I don't know who that could be while I'm in the middle of this live. I'm going to ignore it. See if it goes away. Okay. Now, so I don't see any cars outside, y'all. You know, my house is on the market, so sometimes it leads to some randomness. But, okay. So, here's our dough. Now, see how it's kind of dry now? It's not sticking to the bowl as much. The batch I made earlier, my test batch, was much wetter. So now we're going to take it and we're forming it like into dough, into a dough ball, basically. You need more of the flour here to keep it from sticking. Who is it? Who? Zayla? Who is it? Azayla? Come down here, please. I'm very sorry for the interruption. My teenager can come down here and sort that. Come down here and see who's at the door. Nobody's supposed to be here, and I'm in the middle of a recording. All right, so once you get this like this, and again, you can just keep manipulating it. It may look a little crazy that there's so much flour on there, but trust me, if you don't have lots of flour, it's going to be sticking everywhere. All right. Then all we do, y'all, is just roll it out. Roll it. Who is that? Let's see who that is. I'm not. Don't open the door. Ask who it is. Look outside.
Who is it? It's Ann.
Okay, open the door. All right. So, and then you're just going to roll each side. Roll this way and then roll that way. I'm doing a live taping. I didn't know you were coming over that right then. So roll it here, and you got to make it very thin. All right, it needs to be really thin because that's how you're going to get it like a crispy cracker. All right, so you see it's the color has changed a bit, and that's because of the smoked paprika in there. All right, so if it starts sticking to your hands, just go ahead and put a little bit more a little bit more flour on there. All right. So I'm gonna rotate it. Roll it out on all sides. Now I want it to be a nice rectangle, y'all, but I've already messed that up. Again, you need to keep that flour going or it's gonna start sticking. So when you see those patches show up like that, just wet patches and it starts to stick a little bit, just flour it a little bit more. I'm going even thinner. I'm pressing down really hard to get them very thin. They will still be good, but you're not going to get the same crispness. Okay? All the way out. Okay. This side right here. All right. Okay. There we go. Yes, yeah, that is actually a church member of mine. Her grandson has a really bad case of eczema, and so they sent over some supplies for me to make him like a body butter cream. He's only one, precious soul. And so I told her I would make it, and if it works for him, I would show her how to make it herself. We'll scratching himself all the time. So 2 of my kids have had eczema. So she's going to get some shea butter and black seed oil, a little jojoba oil, put all that together and see what happens. Eczema typically is just an overabundance of yeast in your body, but you can also be allergic to certain things, and that can prompt it too. So you just got to keep trying until you find the right combination of oils. Some people can't use shea butter when they have eczema because it makes it worse. So, all right, I'll probably put a little coconut oil in there too, since I have some of that. Okay, I think we might be thin enough. And then how you cut them, the shape you choose to cut them in is completely up to you. All right, this doesn't take long at all. How long have we been on here? 13 minutes. Time to slice, okay? All right. Here we go. I'm going to do this. You know what I'm going to do, you guys? I want to get to my rectangle. So I'm going to make some odd shapes first, just to get to my rectangle shape. I'm going to dump this on there. My baking sheet from earlier. I still got some flour on it from an earlier batch. So I'm just going to dump these side pieces on here. Don't let people make you think dough is like some crazy complicated thing. It's really not. But then you'll go out, and eat crackers from somewhere, and what they have in them is far worse. All right, so I'm just getting a nice, you don't have to bother with this, but if sometimes visual helps, right? Some people need that visual because that helps them stay stronger when they feel like they're eating from a restaurant. These don't spread at all, so you can put them as close together as you want. Now I just need to get the stuff off the top. If you don't have this tool, you can use a pizza cutter. You can use a plain old knife. Just get it done so you will not cheat on something worse. Get you a nice crispy cracker going. And you could just make this part of your prep on Sunday, and now you got your crackers for the week, okay? Dice this one in half, make it a little bit smaller. Bada boom, bada boom. And these bake in 10 minutes, you guys. That's it. 10 minutes in the oven. Once you do it once, you'll be an old hand, and then you'll be able to do it on a weeknight. It won't be a big deal. Get the seasonings right, your family will like it too. So You can use my recommendations this time, and then you'll get a feel for it, and you can start experimenting with your own, okay? So now I think what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna go diagonal, or no, wait. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go this way. See, I used to be so neurotic, I would watch a YouTube video on this to figure out what's the best way to cut. And then I can just do like this, like this, like this. Get me some nice cracker shape. Now, one advantage of this tool is you can scrape underneath stuff. See that? Okay. And it's sticking a little bit on the bottom, but that's okay. If it's super sticky, again, it's still gonna taste good. It's just gonna be harder to manipulate, okay? Let's go to the next one here. Get that going. Okay, little corner piece. Let's get that over here. Scoop this up so you guys can see me putting this on here. Okay. What is this called? I think it's called a dough cutter. I have to look it up. I found it at a kitchen specialty shop a while ago. I've had one for a while though. Once I knew I really wanted to start getting familiar with dough, even for, it just works for all kinds of things. I find myself using it more often than you would think. Not to cut pizza, but just anytime I'm working with dough, unless it's biscuits, and I'm using the biscuit cutter. So here we go. Here we go. There, that one's a little bigger, longer than I thought, but that's a cute shape. Look, you guys, you could also bake the whole thing all together. Don't think you have to do exactly what Coach K is doing. You can figure your own way out around it. Let's move this. I'm gonna squeeze this one in here. And then for these, oh, I know what they do. They go every other. So one like that, then one like that. And then let me take those two up. I'm trying to get like that Dorito shape. Trick the mind. Think you eating you some Doritos too. All right. And now, how do I get, oh, this one. Yeah, like this. Triangle shape. And then like this. And then I'm going to do the same thing again for the last piece. Dough scraper tool. Let's try to Google that and see. If you find it, Holly, go ahead and share it with the group so everybody can see it. All right, and then my last one right here on this row is not exactly the dough shape. And I may run out of space on this tray. But let's just see. And then I already have some baked, so I'll show you guys what they look like when they're done. Let's scoop this over, scoop this over. Okay. All right, let me get a little bit more flour on that side. There we go. Okay. We go this way, this way, this way. Got 4 more. Can I make it work? Can I make it work on this one baking sheet? Try it and see if I can get the rest on there. So I was 3 minutes late starting this because I was watching this. I guess it was sad to me. The Book of Henry. Oh, it was so heartwarming. Such a heartwarming story. But I was like, no, I got to get downstairs and do this live. Hurry up and get to the end conclusion. It was super sad. Good, but sad. Justice for one person in the end. But somebody always has to die. And so I hate when that happens in movies. All right, so this is all done, y'all. All done. This is a pastry mat right here, by the way. I just love it for cleanup. I've had this for like 4 years now. It still looks exactly the same. And I'm going to slide these in the oven. Now, you can do some cooking spray on top or scrub it with some like some grapeseed oil or something. Okay, it's just what I like to do to mine. Pretend like they're frying, since there's no oil in the mix. And here's what they look like once they are done. Bring this in so you guys can see it. Now this batch will probably be a little bit darker because it has smoked paprika in it. Okay, but here's one. Hear that crunch? Let me tell you something. When you're on a cleanse, you need these treats. You need it. Listen, I'm still a fat girl on the inside. I'm still a foodie and a gluttonous person on the inside. I know how it feels, y'all. Okay. And I haven't actually cooked a little too long. So let me put these in the oven. And I'm going to set the timer for 11 minutes. Okay? Now, you'd rather they be underbaked than overbaked. Because if they're overbaked, they're going to be really hard. So the key is to take them out when they're firm, because they're going to crisp some more as they sit on the counter. Okay? You could also, if you just, real greedy, fry a couple up in some grapeseed oil while the rest are baking. If I couldn't fit them all in the pan, I probably would have done that just to see what they taste like. Okay? You can do this with spelt flour too, but that's a wheat grain, and we're avoiding that on the cleanse. So stick to the chickpea, y'all. So I had some of those with my lunch. I had chickpea on chickpea. We don't want to do too much of that. So I'm going to ask you guys, some of y'all are going to get hooked on these crackers, and then every picture you post is going to have these crackers in it. No, no, no. Okay? They should only be with your cooked meal and not every day. So like we got some soups coming up. Add some of these crackers to it, and store them in an airtight container. But don't just go to town on the crackers all the time. All right. Yes, Tina, this is going, and so this video is going on both platforms, the platform for the Rebirth members, as well as the platform for Cleanse participants. You will have access to this video, just like the other one that I did yesterday, I think it was. So I'm not promising a certain number of lives. I really hadn't intended on doing any during the cleanse, but as the Spirit leads, I don't want y'all to fall off the wagon. So if I'm feeling tempted, I'm going to share what I'm doing with you guys, all right? Because I need this accountability as well. If you're craving sweet tonight, make yourself a cup of tea. That's where you should start. If you need a little more and you like medjool dates, honestly, open that date up. This is going to sound kind of strange. Just go with me. Open that date up. Take the pit out and shove some peanut butter or almond butter down in there. Chop it up into like 4 delicious little pieces and eat that. You will be satisfied, and drink yourself a nice big glass of water and go to bed. You can't stay up late when you're cleansing. It is the enemy of success. Trust me. Unless you got like some crazy willpower, you cannot stay up late when you're on a cleanse, okay? It's just a recipe for disaster. So that's my recommendation to you guys tonight. Another recommendation, when you just feel like you just need something a little fatty, have some avocado. If you like avocado, add it to your salad. Just put it on your plate, even if it doesn't go with anything else, and sprinkle a little salt on it. Tip from Lisa, if you have black salt, I'll show you mine. Let me show you mine. If you have black salt, okay, which you can get from Indian grocers or online, but I got mine from an Indian grocer, black salt powder. If you put this on avocado, baby, you got yourself a boiled egg. That's what it tastes like, okay? And all you need is a pinch, and it smells like boiled. You know that boiled egg smell, you're like, but you still like it. You need to go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of this. It's better if your avocado is a little more on the firm side, not super mushy. And I may have that with my dinner, you guys. It just always makes me feel like I'm doing a little something. you know. And then the last recommendation is if you have the sea moss, and I owe somebody some, I know, and I have not forgotten you. I forget you before 5 when the post office closes, but I'm going to send it tomorrow, I promise. That's why Rochelle does the herb mailing, because that's not my gift. Amen. So, by the way, all orders have been sent. If you don't have your herbs, Rochelle is on here. You can tag her, inbox her, etc. I'm sure she'll post about that soon. So you can make some sea moss as well. I've got some down here in my mini fridge, and I'll probably have a cup of this tonight. I typically start my day with it, but when I'm cleansing, when I want to cleanse, I may do some at night too if I'm fighting cravings. It just gives me a full feeling and helps me to, kind of relax when it's been stressful, okay? So thank y'all for tuning in. 7 more minutes and my new batch of crackers will be done. I ate a whole batch earlier. I'm just going to be, Coach K, just going to be honest. Okay. But to my credit, it was just a half batch. Okay, it wasn't a whole batch. But I have to confess to you guys that I'm completely addicted to saltine crackers. I'm addicted to saltine crackers like some of y'all are addicted to chips. But the saltine cracker to me is worse because it's got regular wheat in it. So I'm very thankful that I like these. I did try to make spelt crackers once when I first transitioned, and it didn't turn out. I got discouraged and never tried again. This worked. Maybe because I'm more familiar working with dough now, but this crunch is perfect. It's really just about getting those seasonings right. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it and won't be too put off by the taste of the chickpea. So if you're not sure, don't use a whole cup of your chickpea flour. Start with a half a cup of chickpea flour and adjust all of the seasonings accordingly. And then, see if you like the cracker itself. If you like it, go ahead and make a whole cup the next time, okay? I think most of you would like it. But the thing is, the chickpea it's a little bit of bitterness to it. I don't really know how to counteract that. I might try adding something different next time. I'm gonna see how this batch comes out. Just a hint of bitter, which is good for parasites, but sometimes your taste buds may not like it. So I'm just saying it to say, not everybody may like it. All right? Okay. All right. Okay. I'm closing out now. You guys have a wonderful week. Let me see what you have for dinner. Remember to post your smoothies in the morning or whatever you choose to have for breakfast. Remember that you may not stick 100% to the guide. You just need to eat the foods that are in there. So you may want fruit salad instead, or eat 3 apples for breakfast. I don't care. Just don't eat a donut. Just don't have a bagel. Okay? Don't work against what the herbs are doing. All right? Okay, you guys. I'm going back upstairs to get into deeper chill mode. All right? And I'm going to talk to you guys later. Bye.